Hello, I'm Grace, Communications Coordinator at Ann Arbor's Office of Sustainability and Innovations. Welcome to Greenlight, where we dig into sustainability in Ann Arbor with the residents who are envisioning, creating, and establishing a sustainable and equitable future for our community. Supporting these goals and presenting this series is A2ZERO, the city's plan, framework, vision, and associated actions for creating and implementing a just transition to carbon neutrality community-wide by the year 2030. Today, we're shining the green light on Director of the Office of Sustainability and Innovations, Dr. Missy Stults.
Hi, Grace.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this series. I'm really excited to see how it all goes.
Thank you. In your own words, tell me about your work.
Oh, you bet. So I am very, very fortunate to be the city's first official Director of Sustainability. And in that role, I sort of view our office and the work that I do as being caretakers for our A2ZERO plan, framework, goals, objectives, and really aspiring to implement the actions that are going to make us carbon neutral in a just and equitable way by 2030.
You wrote the A2ZERO plan. What has it been like to watch it come to life over the past 5 years?
Wow, it's been an incredible honor, and it's been such a journey to watch this plan kind of take shape, and from when we all birthed it collectively as a community to what it is today. It's changed, it's evolved, and I think that's exactly what it needs to do and be reflective and responsive to the moment in time that we're in. It's also grown in ways that I don't think I could have imagined, like the conversations that we're having as a community about what sustainable food really looks like. If you look at A2ZERO, we talk about embracing plant-forward diets. We are thinking so much more holistically about that work stream. Or telework. You know, the pandemic showed us that telework was something that's actually possible, whereas when we evaluated A2ZERO, it was pre-pandemic, and telework was pretty rare. So there's all kinds of things that have just gloriously emerged, excuse me, that we didn't plan. And that is sort of the joy, in addition to all the things we have planned and kind of nurtured and cared for.
That's excellent. How does your work with A2ZERO improve quality of life in Ann Arbor?
Everything has to tie back to quality of life. I'm really proud to be an Ann Arborite. I love this place. This place has a unique identity and a sense of purpose. The people here are extraordinary, and we need to honor those gifts and the talent that we have in the community. We also need to be an open and welcoming place for more people to come, especially more diverse people, varying socioeconomic status. And so I'm really excited about everything that we're trying to do is about improving quality of life or maintaining high quality of life for everyone. Right now, we have varying access to some of the wonderful things that happen in Ann Arbor, and we want to make sure everyone can see the beauty that I think you and I get the pleasure of seeing every day.
That's really sweet. Part of A2ZERO's mission is to be transformative, which I feel like you've already mentioned. What does transformation mean to you, and how do you hope Ann Arbor continues to transform as we approach 2030?
Yeah, thanks for saying that. So the A2ZERO plan has 3 underlying values. There's sustainability, and we mean that in all of its ways. The plan has to sustain itself. This work has to sustain itself into the future. Equity can't be a lens. That's a privilege I can take off and choose not to see. So equity has to be at the center of the work that we do. And then the third is transformation, as you've identified. And transformation is perhaps one of the wickedest to think about in terms of being super, super complex to unpack. And what I think about in that space is the systems and the practices that got us into the moment in time that we're in with rampant climate change, growing socio and economic disparity, a climate crisis, as I mentioned before, but also a housing crisis. Those aren't the systems that are going to get us out of these problems, which means we have to challenge those systems and we have to transform them. We have to transform our relationship with things around us, with each other. And we have to be much more about collaboration, coordination, and kind of purpose than we are about extraction. That's a huge part of this work, which also means, if you've ever been to any of our events, we tend not to focus a lot on individual behavior. It's very, very important, we know that, but only when it's building towards movement change or movement building, changing systems, because the systems are what we ultimately need to transform.
Transformation in the broader sense.
In the most beautiful, glorious sense of transformation. So it's a complicated construct, but it's really, really critical if we're going to be successful. Put simply, doing what we've always done, we know exactly where we're headed. We're headed to a world that's not very livable, with very poor quality of life, with rampant climate change, growing socioeconomic disparity. I'm not willing on living in that world, so we're going to have to transform those systems.
That's great. What's your favorite part of coming to work and the work that you do?
Oh, there's two things that I love almost everything. Not every day, but most days I love almost everything. The two things that every day are sort of like this North Star that guides me are the purpose. I think it is, I often describe it as audacious, our goal of carbon neutrality in a just and equitable way by 2030. It's aggressive, but it is the right thing to do, and that is inspiring, for sure, for me at least. The other are the staff. We have an incredible team. We also have an incredible community, our collaborators that stand beside us. We are a unified front. Now, we may not agree on every single thing that we're trying to do, but we agree with the goal. And that, I mean, that is unwavering, and that is just absolutely aspiring. So the goal and the people I get to work with are the things I love the most.
That's so great. It sounds like a great way to stay grounded while also staying inspired.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, the work is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? Changing systems mean systems don't want to change. There's a reason they exist the way that they do. There's a lot of people, a lot of structure behind them. And so it's challenging, but having your North Stars and the purpose, I think, allows you to kind of stand up and fight again.
Absolutely. There are a lot of different programs and initiatives that make up A2ZERO. What are some of the Office of Sustainability and Innovation's projects and initiatives that you're working on now that you're most excited about, and what are some that you're most looking forward to?
You are correct. We have a lot of initiatives. So we're working on over 50 different things as an office, which is kind of incredible to say out loud. You can't have a favorite in this work. It all matters, whether that's circular economy, thinking about land use, thinking about our energy systems, all of it's critically important. Some of the ones, though, that maybe have a little special place in my heart are work in the Bryant neighborhood to create America's first carbon neutral existing neighborhood is the hardest project that I work on, and it's the most meaningful project. Being able to interact with people whose lives are being impacted day in and day out by that project, working with residents to design solutions, it reminds me of an old saying that you can go faster alone, but you go further together, and that's what we're really trying to do in that project. The work on the sustainable energy utility is absolutely inspirational for me. It's combining things like, if you want to, I'm going to say terms, I promise they're defined in our A2ZERO plan, things like community choice aggregation with public ownership, with equitable access to renewable energy, things like community solar. It is incredible that we have momentum and such creativity in our community to come up with that construct. I love the work on the circular economy that we're trying to do and really emphasize the leadership that's already in the community, especially in local businesses, primarily BIPOC-owned businesses. There's just so much beautiful work that's happening. So I said I wouldn't say a lot of them, but the truth is almost every project that we're working on is really, really special.
So anything else you'd like to say about A2ZERO and your work before we head out?
I think I would just like to say one, thank you, Grace, for offering Greenlight and bringing this idea forward. I'm really excited to see it grow and flourish. And secondly, if anyone is listening, A2ZERO is about us doing our work together. And so I hope that people, if you're inspired, you're excited, you want to learn more, I know you're going to share details shortly, but this movement is about all of us working together to address one of the most pressing issues of our time. So there's space for you. We need you. It's an all hands on deck moment.
Thank you so much, Missy, and thank you for sharing your time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Grace.
You can learn more about A2ZERO online at a20.org. You can check out the events Missy mentioned by visiting a2gov.org/sustainability/events. Have a question you want to ask a sustainability expert in the city of Ann Arbor? Let us know at sustainability@a2gov.org. This has been Greenlight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.